Many thanks to God. Welcome to Ehiliz talk show. VividView.
Say and do it.
If we want to change the world, we must first change ourselves. Say something, somebody.
My name is Lady Lightup Chikere. If we must change the world, we must first change ourselves. What I understand from this is making personal impacts. If you want to make an impact in your society, or if you want to see something change in the society, you should first start with yourself and make an impact. Thank you.
My name is Williams Christopher. If we want to change the world, we must first change ourselves. This simply means we must lead by an example if we really want to change the world, because change starts within.
My name is Adeo Shutosi. If you want to change the world, we must first change ourselves. It means be the kind of person you think that will make this world a better place. Thank you.
My name is Ogenesume Mebradu, and if we want to change the world, we must first change ourselves. What I understand by this is that you are a part of the world, and changing yourself is changing a part of the world. And every journey begins with a step, and this first step has to start with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the intelligent contributions to that teaser. If we want to change the world, we must first change ourselves. We all know it that charity begins at home. And so you cannot tell somebody to be good when you yourself, you're not good. You cannot also correct somebody that this person is bad when you yourself, you're also bad. And so this is what it is. For the world to be a better place, we must start individually. What is our contribution to build this in Nigeria? To make Nigeria be what it is? We are clamoring, Nigeria is not good, nothing is happening in Nigeria, Nigeria is bad. What are you doing in your own local area to make Nigeria good? Here we kill ourselves. Here we change somebody, kill somebody to make money. Is it the government that is doing that? Government is bad, government is bad. Here also fuel is so high. But we don't have fuel in filling station, but we have, what they call it now, black market. So that we can inflate prices. Is the government that is doing that? We tell that we bear false witness against ourselves. We kill because it's not my tribe. We say, no, because this is my tribe, we're not going to do this, not going to do that. We segregate ourselves so many areas. We cause problem to ourselves here and there. We know that what we're doing is wrong because we all have conscience. So before you say Nigeria is bad, who are the Nigerians? It's you and I that make Nigeria bad. Nigeria itself remains good. But we, the inhabitants in Nigeria, is what has made Nigeria bad. So what do you now do to start from your own area to make Nigeria good? You go to a filling station to fuel your car, you have already paid. The attendant will tell you how much you had at the receipt, just because you requested for receipt. But you know how much you've already paid. So what are we saying? What about the traders? You inflate prices just to make money. We meet money here, we also leave money go. Nobody has died and go with money. So if we want this world to change the world here is our nation, Nigeria, then begin from yourself. For charity begins at home. Enough. Oftentimes, when something awful happens, we don't take responsibility. Rather, we shift it to the other person. This must stop if we must foster peace and tranquility in our land. Leadership and responsibility, a clarion call for change, is the topic for today's discussion. We'll run for a short break now. When we come back, the guest will be introduced. Sit back, please. VividView,
Say and do it.
Welcome back. In case you're not joining us, the topic again is leadership and responsibility, a clarion call for change. And with me in the studio today to do justice to this all-important topic is no other person than a clergyman and a consultant. Let's make welcome Dr. Lightup Chikere.
VividView,
say and do it.
Before discussion proper, please follow us on social media handles are displayed on the screen. Dr. Chikere, you're welcome again.
Thank you very much.
Please, the introduction, definition, and perspective of the subject matter.
Thank you very much. Again, the topic is leadership and responsibility, a clarion call for change. And this is the best time to be discussing this topic in our nation and in the world at large, because one of the major things we need now is leadership. It is true that we've discussed this topic again and again, but we must not stop discussing it, because until we see what we want in the country and in the world at large, we aren't going to stop discussing leadership in our schools, leadership in our houses, leadership in our community, and leadership everywhere.
It's all encompassing.
All encompassing. And before we even explain what leadership is, I first want to congratulate the VividView crew for 10 years of impact.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's leadership. And what it means is actually to carry people along, to take people along. And you've been doing that here consistently. And we hope that is something that people need to mirror in their families and in the community at large. So being a leader simply means influencing and carrying others along.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. The roles of parents as leader in administration or administering leadership values. What are the roles of parents?
Yes, unfortunately in our society, we see business people as leaders, we see religious leaders as leaders, we see political leaders as leaders, but we fail to see parents as leaders. To be a father, you are a leader. To be a mother, you are a leader. I like the way an author puts it. His name is Jim Bonds. He says that the difference between a great child and a child that is not great is depending on the responsibility that the parents decide to take. So if parents take their role and play their roles as leaders in the family, automatically they will raise great children. Automatically they will raise children that will be able to lead in society. They will raise children that will be able to manage others. They will raise children that will be able to be a blessing to their world at large. And they will raise children that will be better in society, which is what we need here today. So we want parents to know that you are a leader and you must start showing your leadership with your children at home.
Wow. That's a very good one. You know, sometimes we don't even see the parents as leaders. Just say, my papa, mama. But you're actually the leader and even first mentor to your children as well. Because what you do that children most times copy. You don't do what you ask them to do. It's what they see you do as a parent. So begin from today to know that you're a leader. And as a parent, stand on your feet. Once you see your child going wrong, rebuke. When your child is doing right, you know, give applaud or give a pat at the back. That's how it's supposed to be. So parents, please stand up to your responsibility. Thank you, my dear, for that wonderful
Thank you very much.
Then why should leaders take full responsibility for their actions and not their subordinates?
First of all, I'd like to introduce what I call external leadership.
External leadership.
External leadership. Many persons in leadership see themselves as an external to the body that they are leading themselves. Right? That is, we forget that for you to be a leader, you have a team that is working with you and you have people that you are working for. So you are a leader over them doesn't mean you are different from them. It means that you are the head of them. If you see yourself as different from them, it means that you are considering yourself as external from them.
And that's what we have in Nigeria.
Yes, ma'am.
Our leaders feel they are different from us.
They are different from us. It's not, you can't have a car engine moving on its own.
I wonder.
You can't have a tire moving on its own. All the components come together to make a car to move. And for leadership to work, all the components have to come together to make leadership to work. Now, with this understanding, you see that as a leader, any issue in your team is also your issue. Any challenge is actually a reflection of the kind of personality that you have. It is not to blame what the manager did or didn't do, what the director did or didn't do. It is supposed to be your responsibility to shadow for them. It is supposed to be your responsibility to mentor them. It is supposed to be your responsibility to inspire them so that they can do the kind of things that are expected of them to do. So leaders must stop this blame game business, right? They must stop the idea of, no, I'm not the one in charge, it's my secretary. You employ the secretary is working for you. The mistake of the secretary is your mistake. And unfortunately, we see that in the political space, we see that in the family, we see that everywhere. When the child is good, like we say here, it is the father's child. But when the child is bad, it is the mother's child. But you are the head of the house. If you had groomed your wife properly, she would train your child as much as you would train your child, and you will be happy to have a better child. The same thing goes in the business space. If the leader groomed their marketers properly, they will produce the kind of result that they ought to get. If your marketer is not producing the result that you expect, the marketer is not the problem. You are the problem. Are you leading? Can I say that it is one thing to call yourself a leader, and it is another thing for you to actually be a leader? It is one thing to call yourself a leader. It is another thing for you to be a leader. We must take responsibility as leaders to ensure that things and people under us are working so that there will be no issues at large. Thank you.
We must be leaders and not boss.
Yes.
There are difference between a boss and a leader.
Yeah.
A boss is far from his subordinates, but a leader should be very close.
Yeah.
So I don't like to tell anybody I'm a boss. No, don't call me boss. I'm a leader. Because if you call me boss, I look at these people. Like in the opening, I said, people don't take responsibility for their mistakes. They always shift it to that person. So that's very wrong. In office space, even at home, sometimes, like you just already mentioned, the husband will shift the whole thing to the wife. It's not supposed to be. So let's take our responsibility and do what we're expected to do. We'll take a break now, come back, continue. VividView.
Say and do it.
Okay, welcome back. We're still discussing leadership and responsibility, a clarion call for change. And now let's take me to this various forms of leaders and their mandate in guaranteeing the change in society. How true is it?
Of course, leaders are supposed to be responsible for making the change that we need in society. And there are several of those kind of leadership that is required for us to see the change that we want in society.
Exactly.
I think one of those kind of leadership we need is what I may like to call family and community leadership. We must take leadership back to our houses and back to our communities. Yes. Some people don't even belong to any community. Some people attend no community meetings. Some people make no contributions in their community. And tomorrow they want to be leaders of the nation. That's not possible. We must take back again family and community leadership. Another important aspect of leadership we must take back to change the society is leadership in the areas of media and information. Leadership in the aspect of information and media. Our media is becoming something else. And we must realize that the media has a major role to make the nation what it will ever become. What people see, what people watch, what people hear will inform what they will definitely become at the end of the day. So the media and those in leadership positions in media must be careful to ensure that we are portraying the kind of things that will make Nigeria, for instance, better, that will make, for instance, the family better, and that will make the society better. Another important area of leadership that we must consider is the leadership of economy and finances. We have seen billionaires, but we have not seen people that can raise billionaires. We have seen people with wealth, but we have not seen people that can manage wealth properly. We have seen people that have houses and properties, but we have not seen people that can actually manage their houses and their properties properly. So we need leadership in the space of the economy. We need leadership in the space of finances. Who are those that can, you know, there is this thing that I came in contact with many years ago, if I may say. Forbes doesn't recognize many Nigerians as business leaders. Not because there are no business leaders, but because they don't know what these people did to make their money. So if we don't know what you did to make your money, how can we say that you are leading in the area of finances? And finally, can I say that we also need leadership in the areas of the legal and the political space? Our legal industry needs to be worked on. Our political industry needs to be worked on. We need people that will mirror the kind of future that we want as a nation. Else, one day, this nation may be something that will crumble. But we are sure that with what VividView is doing here and with the kind of persons that are coming up, we are preparing the future and Nigeria for a better world at large. Thank you so much. Your answer is very correct, and that is what it is.
In all these segments you mentioned, we need good leadership. And we want them also to lead us. As they always say, leadership by example.
By example.
And so if they don't show that example, that's why they will begin for yourself. You want change. If you don't change as my president, don't change some areas that you are doing, you will not lead us well. Others, as my governor, if you don't change some areas, you will not lead us well. So we also, all of us know, as a parent, as a mother, as a father, if you don't change in areas we know that is wrong, because we all have conscience, then how can you lead? I said it before that children watch what we do, not what we say, what we tell them. So we need these changes, good leadership in all these areas we just mentioned. For Nigeria, to foster peace and tranquility in our land, in Nigeria, a lot of people, so many areas are burning. But it's just God and His infinite mercy that is keeping us. Otherwise, what is happening in the country today is worse than what we are, the Sudan people are experiencing. That war all over the places, Somalia and all, so many wars around the world. But God still kept us. So please, we don't want our nation to burn more than this. Let our leaders rise up to their responsibility. This is the time. Our former head of state said that Nigeria is sitting on a gunpowder. And we don't want you to explode. Because the thing is getting up here to the masses. You can't blame them protesting here and there. They're suffering really. Those of you who don't feel it, please, want you to start feeling. Put yourself, let empathy take place. Put yourself in the shoes of these masses that cannot even see a square meal in a day. It's so bad. Please, please, that's what we're begging from this platform. Okay, welcome back. We are still discussing leadership and responsibility, a clarion call for change. The challenges and obstacles confronting visionary and true leaders, how can they be tackled?
Yes, visionary leadership and true leadership is a concept that we need to bring back again to the conversation. There is a kind of leadership that is considered as visionary or true leaders. And those are those kind of persons who are truly doing what they are supposed to do as leaders, not just saying that they are leaders. And unfortunately, in our society today, we have refused to accept visionary leaders because we see them as just head leaders. We see them as people that just went to school to study leadership. We see them as people that just have ideologies. But it is high time for us to tell ourselves that since we have experienced those who have had experiences again and again, we need to start experiencing those who think that they have new ideas that they can bring into the table. For instance, when we had a change of government, I've been expecting to see that some of the persons who contested in the last election would have been brought to bring their own idea. Anybody who contested for presidency probably had an idea. And that idea must not be kept until they become a leader. They should put it into practice and we see it working so that the nation can be better before they contest again the next time. But unfortunately, we have refused to give those people permission. We have refused to involve them. We have refused to even listen to some of the things that they have to say. And these are challenges that we must settle. And I think that in order for us to settle them, yes, ma'am, one of the things that we must do is we must begin to seek their opinion on matters. We must, sometimes when they say, we the people have decided, I wonder which people decided. I was not involved. Nobody asked my say. Only few persons have become we the people. That can't be leadership. So yes, we must come to the point where we must begin to accommodate these persons. In a world like social media, Nigeria should have a platform where people can come to give ideas on how the nation can grow. And we have different personalities with different ideas who can come up and say, why don't you try this on the subsidy issue? Why don't you try this on the economical issue? And gradually we can see how the thing works. It is not a must that the person who is on the seat must solve the problem. We are all Nigerians, and a better Nigeria will work for all of us. So all of us want to be a part of the solution. We are asking, give us chance, give us a space, give us a voice, and we will see how Nigeria will be transformed because we can.
Thank you, Doctor. It shouldn't be a party issue all the time.
Yes, ma'am.
Should be party. That is where we are. Still where we are. It shouldn't be party issue all the time. So because one party win, every other person will go to blazes. No. They have ideas. Bring them in. Allow them to come. Yes, I have won as a leader. my party has won. But take opinion from other people. It is how you bring them in that they will respond. And let there be continuity in our government system. No. When anyone comes now, whatever the other one is doing, I abandon. We'll start all over again. We have so much abandoned projects. Wasted money in Nigeria. Haba. Please, our leaders, help us. And let us make Nigeria work. Nigeria will work. It's a lovely place. I love Nigeria. I love Nigeria. Anywhere I go. Not because I can travel out, yes, a week or two. In fact, when it's more than 2 weeks, I'm already eager to come back to my home. Because this is my home. And no place like home.